My dear associates in the path, pranams. It is with the blessings of the beloved Master, Sri Ramchandraji Maharaj of Shahjahanpur, UP, India, we are gathered here once again to celebrate his birthday. His sage has started seeing the people throughout the world. When a person or his views or inventions or discoveries become popular, claims are made to have helped in discovering such truths. We know our master was structured by his master, half the truth. Our beloved master, by his merit of zeroing himself, has become the cynosure of the eyes of masters of the past, and all streams of divine consciousness have merged in him, and thus making him a special personality is the other part of the truth. The special personality is a living principle and is characterized best when we say Sri Ramchandra consciousness. The Master has undertaken the task of transforming the human consciousness both individually and universally. That revered Lalaji Maharaj was a Sufi master does not make his disciple Sri Ramchandraji Maharaj or his disciples automatically a Sufi. Revered Babuji Maharaj gave an entirely new system which is called rightly as a new darshana by Dr. K.C.Narayana. That the principle of transmission is available in Sufism and also in our master system does not make them the same. The conditions beyond Prapanna Prabhu are not known to Sufis. The 65 points beyond these regions, revered Babuji asserts, are his discoveries. Surely then they were unknown to the saints before him. Though the centers in the heart region are known to them, the discovery of points A and B are the inventions of revered Babuji Maharaj only, as is explicitly claimed in the book Efficacy of Raj Yoga. To say the successors of revered Babuji are also Sufis is a total distortion of truth. No such claim was ever made by the Sufis during the lifetime of the Master. At the time of declaration on 31/3/1945, made by a Guru Bhai of our Master to the effect that revered Babuji is the successor representative of revered Lalaji Maharaj, there was no response from any of the Sufis or others to the claim. But it may be noted, various masters, including the avatar, Lord Krishna, merged in him, making the special personality awesome great. We should note that revered Lalaji was never a president of SRCM, as he left his mortal coil 12 years before starting the SRCM. President successors are there, and they all belong to SRCM and cannot have any claim of lineage from revered Lalaji, leave alone from that of his master. I have stated all this because nowadays I get mails seeking clarification on these matters. To think that the system developed by Sri Ramchandraji Maharaj is just another version of Raja Yoga or Vedanta or Sufism is a clear distortion of facts and incorrect understanding. Transformation of human consciousness can be achieved by the supermind, was the claim of Sri Aurobindo. Master says that it is not a task that can be done by the supermind and will require an even higher state of superconsciousness to do the task. It is in this context we have to view the discovery of the central region and center itself by revered Babuji Maharaj. To discover something is one aspect, and making such a discovery accessible to all is another aspect. The new era of spirituality has taken the task of individually transforming those who are willing human beings dedicated to the transformation of humanity. Thus the gates of the central region, which were not open to saints, even of the caliber of Kabir, during their lifetime, are now opened for all those who are willing to participate in this divine task. His method is for all who want to make the term humanity dignified. The principles of individualism, separatism, and dogmatism needs to be replaced by the principles of mutuality, cooperation, and reason. Only then it appears there is some chance for peace in a hopelessly divided and strife-ridden world. Master used to say that the time has come when we either mend or end. His method gives us peace and calmness. But the peace we arrive at is of a different order. I may say that in the system of our Master, peace does not mean to be in a place where there is no noise, no trouble, or no hard work. Peace means to be in the midst of all those things and still be calm in our heart. That is the real meaning of peace. We are all assembled here with the noble intention of pooling our resources and understanding in order to engage in the greatest transformation of consciousness that is ever proposed by any spiritual discipline. It is our awareness that during meditations, assisted by Pranahuti, we go so deep into ourselves that we stumble and fall into infinity or void. While imperience is bliss, our consciousness after we wake from the deep state of meditation is one of pain of having left the company of the divine, and sometimes we feel even vexed at this game of hide and seek with the divine. The access to higher regions beyond the microcosm, where amity and coherence are the governing principles that are available for some of the practicants, it should be understood, is not given for their sake, but for the sake of their labor. Higher we move in the path, higher are the responsibilities that come to us, and there is no place for personal interests, attitudes, and predilections. Because of certain traditional notions of realization, we tend to think the higher states are made available to us for our sake. Realization in the traditional sense meant only going beyond Pindadesh, and even the best of the saints like Kabir did not go beyond the 16th circle in our path during his lifetime, according to our Master. That the central region is available for entering into by us should make us understand how much the Divine and the Master are expecting us to do. The trust that is reposed by Master and the Divine on human being is enormous, I am very sure that most of us are committed to the cause of the Master, and this tribe shall increase in number as days pass by. It is divine decree that there will always be some persons who have strived hard and earned the trust of God. I am not talking about the Master, but among the aspirants here and elsewhere, there are some who have earned the trust of God. It is they who foment the divine grace for the commons. They move about in the world as if they were part of it, yet inside their hearts and souls they are in the divine presence. Their hearts are mellowed by the presence of the Master, and their compassion and love for humanity increases as they serve more and more. If they do not use the power in the heart fruitfully for the benefit of other aspirants, they develop what Master called power-grasness. If they pray to Master for the spiritual good of humanity in general, or any individual in particular, their request is accepted. They are the associates of the Master, and their assistance to the mankind is always with the eye of mercy and compassion to those less fortunate than themselves. The great Master wanted all his associates, blessed as they are, by keeping him in their hearts, by the grace of the Master, to pray for the good of humanity. This, you know, is the very basis of our 9 p.m. prayer. I had, on an earlier occasion, said this can be considered as our yajna. For performing yajna, there are certain qualifications required. But for this noblest yajna that we do every day, there is no qualification requirement. There is no need to have the sacred thread for this. It is here that we find the practicals for the possibility of a higher evolution in consciousness. Theoretically, many saints and all religions taught this prayer on certain special occasions. But it is the Master who made this prayer a daily feature of our sadhana. Some of us who practice this prayer, keeping our focus on the point A, have felt a distinct advantage in our advancement in spiritual life. That I am sure is the experience of my associates also. Each night, before going to bed, we pray to Master, repenting for our lapses and seek forgiving our mistakes and lapses and sins too. Many feel that there is nothing for them to feel repentant about, and there is always a question of praying for lapses not felt. Others write to me that they do not get into sobbing mood and there is nothing to cry for. True it might be from their individual separatist point of view. If we feel that we are part of the humanity at large, and an integral part at that, we cannot but feel for the various crimes, atrocities, wars and violence, and feel repentant for belonging to that group of creation called humanity. The claim that human beings are rational is now getting questioned in the little conscience that is left very badly when we visualize our state of living. Insanity is reigning everywhere. It is prayer and prayer alone that can be the key to get out of this mess of violence and porn stuff into which all of us are being dragged by the Asuric forces. It is a well-researched fact that the more we focus on the ills of the world and the more our attention is drawn to the drama of silly characters amid our fellow human beings, the more vulnerable we become to the serious side effects of news and commentary that places great emphasis on the worst of human faults. It is a deplorable fact that the information we view or hear on major network TVs, radios, and monitored publications are slanted, censored, and minimized to the point of being misleading and purposefully misinforming. I have seen many sensible persons unwilling to watch TV or listen to the radio or read newspapers. One can surely make sensible choices, being selective about what they view and listen to. I do not like to dwell on things that are well known to you, but only stress that if we were to live and move in universal consciousness, we cannot but feel for the lapses of humanity in general. There is nothing that we can do individually if we think we are separate entities, but if we realize that we are with humanity, we have everything to repent and pray for. I am talking about this aspect not as a part of 9 p.m. prayer, but our night bedtime prayer. Because each night, when I go to sleep, keeping the Master in my heart, I am not able to agree with Mahatma Gandhi, who said that each night I go to sleep, I die, and the next morning, when I wake up, I am reborn again. I feel like saying that each night I go to sleep, keeping the Master in my heart, and when I wake up, it is with the awareness of the Master. When we live in the Master, the question of dying does not arise at all. When we live in such consciousness, we maintain an eternal vigil in the realm of consciousness to which we belong. If that were to be Sri Ramchandra consciousness, what more do we seek? Such is the fortune of some of us, and such shall be the fortune of all the rest of humanity. This will happen sooner or later, as that is the will of our great Master. All of us have moved to some extent or the other in our journey to the infinite. There is a high point to which we can easily lay claim and have our thoughts and acts reflect that high point in us. We can easily pray from the highest point possible for us, and for that we need to have only love for the Master and determination to live up to the levels to which we belong. Every thought and action of ours should reflect the influence of the Master in us. We need to remember that the Master is laying the path for the future through us. The path we lay down will be the tracks for future generations, and we have onerous responsibility to lay the path straight, smooth, and fine. If we fail in this task, I consider that to be the greatest misfortune that can befall us individually and collectively as human species. It is in this context I have been pleading for a better compliance on the 10 Commandments of the Master. Our behavior and thinking, which is based on the Sri Ramchandra consciousness, is laying the paths for the future humanity. It is to be remembered, God and we are co-partners, and the interdependence between us is something that we have to fully appreciate. We have been accustomed to pray to the Divine for everything till now, and it is the turn of the Divine to seek from us the cooperation required to make this world a paradise. I am sure those who live in Sri Ramchandra's consciousness are willing partners in this enterprise. The world shall be a paradise soon, even as envisaged by our Master, but for that we need to work very hard. Let us now live during these days of celebration more intensely and more involved in the Sri Ramchandra consciousness, so that we gain the strength to live up to his expectations. My humble pranam at the holy feet of all those devoted to Master. Pranams.